Hi YouTube. Let me turn this down first. Hey y'all. It's um been what, a day or two since I put up my first video. I actually like my computer camera a lot better. I should have used this one at first instead of trying to use my phone, because this thing is just me moving it, trying to, follow myself, and just the quality. I think this quality is a lot better. So I'm gonna try to do my videos on my computer's camera instead. So how y'all doing? um, hopefully, what I hope to achieve in this video is just to talk more about my locks in terms of the journey that I really took and the twists and turns, because I don't think I spoke about that adequately in the other video. Even though it was 10 minutes long, I was talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. But this one is specifically to my hair's own journey, because I think it's important that people know that I didn't always start with this size lock. It actually was way, way, way smaller. So I will begin. All right, back in '07 September, um, I decided I wanted to do my locks. Like I said before, my mother, she decided to lock her hair. So I was just like, oh, shoot, mom, you know what I'm saying? I'm down with you. I'm going to do it too. Like, we can lock our hair together. So I started with Sisterlocks. That experience, first, let me say, my experience is not typical of everybody. See, that's my mama right there. I will call her back real quick. So, it's not typical. I had a trainee do my hair. I was in college, broke. In order for your Sisterlocks to get, in order for your Sisterlocks to get installed, it can run between 500, well over a grand. I mean, it was ridiculous how much it costs. So, yeah, so that's why I was like, I found a trainee because they don't cost as much. Well, they shouldn't charge top price because they're still learning, and they need clients that would, volunteer to let them practice installing the locks in their hair so they can get their certification. So I'm in Atlanta and I found someone, very wonderful person. Besides her jacking my hair up, she's a beautiful person. Um, Otherwise, but because of my hair texture, my hair was already long and very dense. There's different sizes for Sisterlocks. They have the small Sisterlocks. I mean, all of them are small. They're all tiny, but they have different sizes. One is the extra small, small, medium, and large, and then they have brother lock size. If I wanted to do the Sisterlocks, I wanted the brother locks, the large brother locks. I think brother locks are about the size of a pencil. Maybe a little bit, the width might be a little bit smaller, but it is about the size of a pencil. So that's what I wanted. But she said that she was taught to be, to install the locks small in the front, small around the nape, and you can get larger towards the middle. I mean, my hair is way too thick. That might work with other people that don't have as much density per square inch on their head. Like, my head is so thick, it's ridiculous. So anyway, installation usually takes about a good weekend, 2 days, 12 hours a day. The locticians, they spend 12 hours installing the locks. She spent 2 weeks on my head. Reason why she spent 2 weeks on my head is because my schedule, class schedule, her work schedule, and she was, I was paying her as we went along. I couldn't give her all the money up front, and she kind of did something where, okay, I'm only going to do as much as you pay me to do. So if you only give me this much, this is how much hair is going to get done on your head. Very unfair, not professional. If you're going to work out a payment plan with somebody, you work out the payment plan. I paid according to what I told her I was going to pay, but she was still supposed to do her part. And it was supposed to be up to me to finish paying her off once it was done. So, yeah, they got done 2 weeks later. I mean, I had to wear scarves. I had to wear hats. I just looked jacked up for a couple of weeks. Just mm. So yeah, so I've had my locks for like a good about 4 or 5 months, maybe a little bit more. I know by February I decided to combine them. I said okay, because for retighteners it took 12 hours. Most people they can do their retighteners in 4 hours, five, maybe 2.5 hours. I mean, it requires a latch hook. That's what I use. The Sisterlocks technique, they have their own special tool. But sometimes I could not afford to pay for a Sisterlock consultant to retighten my hair. Sometimes I had to do it myself with a latch hook, you know? And even then, it took me a lot longer. But the person that I did find, a consultant that worked with me, it took her 12 hours, like a whole day. It was a lot. And I didn't think that was practical. I'm not made of money. And this is supposed to be a style where I should be able to maintain it myself. And I just realized that Sisterlocks, the way mine look, didn't look like Sisterlocks. It just looked like a bunch of mini, skinny strings of hair. Like it didn't even look like locks. It just looked like a big ass mess of I don't know, like an afro. But it wasn't conducive to my hair. So Sisterlocks is not. I'm not gonna say it's for everybody, and that's one thing I wish people that do Sisterlocks should caution based on your hair texture. Um, the grade of your hair, Sisterlocks may work very well for some people, and Sisterlocks may need to be tweaked. Maybe, based on my hair texture, maybe brother lock size or even bigger than that. Maybe a little bit bigger than the size of a pencil might have worked. But I had over 800 locks in my head. That's ridiculous. So I spent the time in February. What I did was I didn't take out my Sisterlocks. There was no way I could do that. I would not endure that type of agony, and that was cruel and unusual punishment that I put through myself. So I said, hell no, I'm just gonna work with what I have. So what I ended up doing was taking my locks and I two strand twisted them together. I sectioned them off. All of my sections are not even. I have a lot of locks, different sizes, but they're not like grotesquely disproportionate to each other. They just, some are very, very small and some are kind of on the bigger side, but they all look uniform. Like, so if you look at my hair, they all looks uniform. There's only a few that stand out. So what I ended up doing was like, I started from the back. Like, here's an example of a very small, one of the smaller locks that I have. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm gonna move it up. Yep, that's an example of what I consider a very small lock in my head. So now I'm gonna show y'all towards the middle a fat one, ones that I wish all of my head was this particular size. I don't know if y'all can see that. That is the example of a nice, decent size, a bigger size. A lot of my bigger locks are in the front or in the middle. Um, so yeah, so I had to do work from the back up, two strand twisting them all together. I'm sorry, I missed out a detail. I interlocked the roots together with the latch hook. So I took like maybe 4 locks because the locks were so damn small. So I could take 4 locks, twist two around each other, and then take the 2 locks themselves that I created and latch hook one into the other. So I pulled one lock through the new growth of another, and then I two strand twisted it together. So, for instance, we have these two. This lock will be interlocked inside of the adjacent lock next to it, and then I twisted them together, and I allowed them to lock that way. So in February of '08, that's when I designate that as my second journey, and that's when I, started. I call it my real journey, um, because that's the point where I consider myself locking my hair. I even saw the changes of my hair, like during the locking process, the budding phase, the frizzy phase, the out of control phase, all of that stuff. I didn't see that with my Sisterlocks. So my Sisterlocks were so dead and stringy, and they just looked so, they just they didn't look right on me. I desire lush, thick locks. I love thick, full, voluminous type of locks. That's what I wanted for myself. I think it really suited me to have